Once upon a time, in a small village in Nigeria, there lived a woman named Neca. Neca was known for her delicious meat pies and suya, which she sold in the village market. But what nobody knew was that Neca had a dark secret. Deep in the forest, there were evil men who hunted innocent people and sold their flesh to Neca. She would buy the human meat and cook it into her pies and suya, which unsuspecting villagers would eat. One day, a curious boy named Chitty followed Neca into the forest and saw her meeting with the evil men. He watched in horror as they exchanged money for bags of human flesh. Chitty was frightened and ran back to the village to tell his parents. But nobody believed Chitty because Neca was well respected in the village. Determined to prove the truth, Chitty decided to gather evidence himself. That night, Chitty sneaked into Neca's kitchen and found the gruesome evidence bags of human flesh hidden in her pantry. Just as he was about to leave, he heard Neca's footsteps approaching. Chitty hid behind a curtain and watched as Neca started cooking the human meat. He knew he had to escape and tell the village before it was too late. But just as he turned to leave, he knocked over a pot, making a loud noise. Neca turned around and saw Chitty. She grabbed him tightly and whispered, "You shouldn't have seen this, boy. Now you'll be my next secret ingredient." With a quick struggle, Chitty managed to break free from Neca's grasp and dashed out of the kitchen. He ran as fast as his legs could carry him, fear pounding in his chest. Behind him, he could hear Neca's angry shouts echoing through the night. He knew he had to warn the village before Neca could harm anyone else. As he reached the village, he banged on doors, shouting for everyone to wake up and listen to him. Eventually, the villagers gathered around him, bleary-eyed and confused. Breathlessly, Chitty recounted everything he had seen in Neca's kitchen: the bags of human flesh, the evil men in the forest, and Neca herself cooking the horrifying meat. At first, the villagers were skeptical. But when they saw the fear in Chitty's eyes and the determination in his voice, they began to believe him. Together, they marched to Neca's house, ready to confront her and put an end to her gruesome business. But as they approached, they were met with an eerie silence. Neca's house was empty, with no sign of her or the horrifying ingredients she used in her cooking. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. Confused and afraid, the villagers realized that their ordeal was far from over. Neca may have escaped for now, but they knew they had to stay vigilant to ensure that she would never return to their village again. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, but there was no sign of Neca. The village gradually returned to its peaceful rhythm, with Chitty's bravery becoming the stuff of legends among the villagers. Yet, despite the passing time, the memory of Neca's dark deeds lingered like a shadow over the village. Parents held their children a little tighter, and whispers of caution were exchanged whenever someone mentioned Neca's name. Then, one fateful night, a traveler passing through the village brought chilling news. He had heard rumors of a woman matching Neca's description, operating in a nearby town, selling her infamous meat pies and suya once again. The villagers felt a cold shiver run down their spines. Had Neca resurfaced to continue her gruesome business elsewhere? Or was it merely a tale spun from fear and superstition? Determined not to let fear rule their lives, the villagers decided to take action. They formed a group of brave volunteers, led by Chitty, to venture into the neighboring town and uncover the truth about Neca's whereabouts. Armed with courage and determination, they set out on their journey, ready to confront whatever darkness awaited them and bring an end to the reign of the human meat cooker once and for all. The journey to the neighboring town was fraught with uncertainty and danger. As they walked along dusty roads and through dense forests, the volunteers couldn't shake the feeling of foreboding that hung heavy in the air. Finally, they arrived at the town where Neca was rumored to be operating. The streets were bustling with people going about their daily lives, unaware of the sinister presence that lurked in their midst. With hearts pounding, the villagers split up, each group searching for any trace of Neca or her gruesome business. They combed through market stalls, questioned locals, and even ventured into the darkest corners of the town in their quest for answers. Hours passed, and just as hope was starting to fade, a whisper reached Chitty's ears. A shopkeeper claimed to have seen a woman matching Neca's description selling suspicious meat products in a hidden alleyway on the outskirts of town. With renewed determination, Chitty and his companions hurried to the alleyway, their senses on high alert. And there, hidden away from prying eyes, they found what they had been searching for. Neca stood behind a makeshift counter, her face twisted into a wicked grin as she peddled her tainted wares to unsuspecting customers. But before she could make another sale, Chitty and the villagers confronted her, their voices ringing out with righteous anger. Caught off guard, Neca's smirk faltered, replaced by a look of fear and desperation. She tried to deny her crimes, but the evidence was undeniable. With nowhere to run and no one left to deceive, Neca's reign of terror finally came to an end. As the villagers rejoiced in their victory, Chitty couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. His bravery had not only saved his own village, but had also put an end to Neca's reign of terror once and for all. But even as they celebrated, Chitty knew that their journey was far from over. For in a world filled with darkness, heroes like him would always be needed to stand up for what is right and protect the innocent from harm. And so, with their heads held high and their spirits emboldened, Chitty and the villagers returned home, ready to face whatever challenges the future may bring.